The 2024 Olympics is coming to a close, and it has left us with memories of so much excitement and just spectacular performances all around. Paris, now having hosted the Games for 3 times in the history of the Olympics, has transformed its historic landmarks into beautiful sporting arenas. I mean, did you see the beach volleyball courts at the foot of the Eiffel Tower? Like, amazing. As an athlete myself, watching these competitors just fills me with so much awe and inspiration, and just the sheer amount of dedication it takes to be able to play your sport at this level of the Olympics is just incredible. Having gone through ACL surgery, I'm particularly moved by the athletes who have overcome setbacks like that to be able to still perform in the Olympics. Unfortunately, injuries are an ever-present part of sports, and there are several athletes who weren't able to compete at this year's Olympic Games due to having some injuries in the past few months. Names like Kawhi Leonard and Shalise Jones and Elaine Thompson-Herah, among others, remind us that these challenges are still very real even amongst the most elite athletes. But here is the silver lining: recoveries and comebacks are possible. Today we're going to look at 7 pro athletes who were able to keep their Olympic dreams alive despite their ACL injuries. Their stories highlight that with the right amount of determination, proper care, and support, you're still able to make a big setback an even bigger comeback. So whether you're dealing with an ACL injury or any other type of sports injury or obstacle in your way of pursuing your dreams, just keep in mind that these things do not have to define you. It's truly how you respond to them that matters. So let's go ahead and dive into these comeback stories and see what we can learn from these resilient Olympians. Number 1, Nyjah Huston. Nyjah Huston is a 13 times X Games skateboarding champion, making him one of the best skateboarders of our generation, if not of all time. What's even more remarkable about Nyjah is that throughout his 18-year career, he's only suffered one major athletic injury, and that is an ACL tear back in 2022. As it is for most of us who have gone through ACL injuries, not only was it a physical test for him, but it was also a mental one. After his surgery, not a day went by when he wasn't working on his comeback. He not only worked really hard in his physical therapy and rehab, but he also really worked on his nutrition and just taking care of his body overall. And get this, in a little under 8 months, he was back competing in prestigious skating events. Although his stint in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics landed him with a disappointing 7th place finish, the 2024 Paris Olympics really represents this significant milestone in his comeback journey. Number 2, Valerie Constien. Now, one of the most exciting moments for professional athletes is to get signed by a sporting brand. And in 2023, Nike signed Valerie a week before the Diamond League, which is an elite track and field competition where Valerie was going to make her debut. However, on the second lap of her 3,000 meter steeplechase, she ended up landing kind of funny in the water, hyperextended her knee, and collapsed on the side of the track, which unfortunately forced her to end her race right then. She initially thought it was a sprain, like we all kind of hope it is when we find out we're injured, but it ended up being an ACL injury. Valerie then underwent her bilateral ACL surgery and then really wasn't expecting to return to her sport until 2025. However, Valerie did manage to recover a little bit faster than she had hoped in enough time to secure a spot on the Olympic team in the 2024 Paris Olympics, which was her second time appearing in the Olympics after the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Number 3, Daria Saville. Torn ACL 2013 flashbacks. This is a tweet that Daria sent out in September 2022 after incurring another injury that understandably gave her flashbacks to a previous ACL injury. In the Japan Open of 2022, Daria suffered a grueling ACL injury on the court when she was facing Naomi Osaka. Now, with this being a second ACL injury in her career as an athlete, she was very familiar with what the recovery timeline would look like. But just after 10 months of dedicating herself to her recovery, she was back to doing her thing. And she ended up making it into the semifinals of the WTA tournament in Hamburg. Pretty impressive for just 10 months after surgery. Daria is very active on her social media, and for the Paris Olympics, she's actually been documenting a lot of behind the scenes life and day in the life style videos, as well as what's going on in the Olympic Village. It's pretty cool to check out, and you can see more on her Instagram. Number 4, Emily Fox. Emily Fox has been one of the most watched talents, really helping to raise the bar for women's soccer. Even at an early age, Emily dreamt of being in the Olympics and even wrote about it in her school paper in elementary school. And at 26 years old, she's made those dreams come true, even despite her ACL injuries. In her time as a youth national team member, she suffered her first ACL injury. And then when she was called to join the senior national team, she had a second ACL injury. But then she was able to come back stronger than ever and played internationally with the London-based Arsenal team. And then in the Women's World Cup, and then in the Women's Super League, and now in the Olympics. Number 5, Rebeca Andrade. 1 ACL injury is heartbreaking, and 2 is just disappointing, and then 3, I mean, come on. This remarkable 25-year-old gymnast has overcome 3 ACL injuries to get to where she is today. She suffered her first one in 2015, then a second one in 2017, and her third one in 2019. Each injury required surgery and extensive rehabilitation, threatening to derail her very promising career. Despite these devastating setbacks, Rebeca's determination shined through as she made it to the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo and became the first Brazilian woman to win gold in women's gymnastics. In the 2024 Paris Olympics, she is a must-watch star and fierce competition of USA's Simone Biles. Number 6 is Ernest John Obiena. In recent years, Filipino athletes have been conquering the world stage, winning their first Olympic gold in weightlifting at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and several other gold medals in the Asian Games in categories of jiu-jitsu, gymnastics, basketball, and even pole vaulting. So much in the spotlight is Ernest John Obiena, or EJ, who is ranked number 2 in the world for pole vaulting. Pole vaulting is known as one of the most dangerous sports in the field events category. I mean, we all saw what happened to the French pole vaulter, Anthony Ammirati. Besides, getting your junk stuck on the bar, there are several other things that can go wrong. I mean, you're just launching yourself 20 feet in the air too, so there's that. But EJ is determined to make his country proud despite having suffered lots of complications following his ACL injury. He even admitted to reporters that he wasn't in his best physical condition for this year's Olympic Games, but promised that he would still give it his 100%. If there's one thing about Filipinos, their resilience will always shine through. And number 7, Jordyn Poulter. Coming from the high of winning gold in the 2020 Olympic Games and being named the best setter in the games, everything was really going well for Jordyn, or at least it should have been. Jordyn unfortunately suffered a massive knee injury back in 2022 when she was playing an Italian club league game and ended up tearing her ACL, her PCL, her MCL, and her meniscus. Having a tear in almost all of your knee ligaments is wild, but Jordyn still managed to come back to her game 18 months later. If there's one thing that I took from her story that really I feel like should be shared with anybody going through an injury or any kind of obstacle, health condition, or just something that they're really struggling with, it's this. Jordyn says it's all about, quote, finding inspiration and knowing that I'm still not the best version of myself as an athlete or human. And really, it's a beautiful sentiment that recognizes one's potential for growth. We really have to embrace the idea that we are constantly evolving and growing and becoming, and that we're capable of improving mentally, physically, and emotionally in that process. If you're an athlete, that means always recognizing that you have the potential to enhance your performance, your technique, or your mental strength. And for individuals in general, it's understanding that being the healthiest and best version of yourself is always just this ongoing journey that we are constantly evolving and growing into. So it's really never too late to start taking action and moving better and eating better and feeling better and living better. We are always capable of change, and that starts from within. And if you're ready to begin the journey towards a healthier self, then check out the link down in the description and start making action towards that today. So I'm curious, what athlete in the 2024 Paris Olympic Games has inspired you the most and why? Drop your answers down below in the comments. I'd love to read them. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. I appreciate you. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.